There are aspects to this job that is just plain and simple busy work, and it's not the most fun part of the job, but it does provide some illuminating insight from time to time. So I started up this video mostly because like I'm sitting in front of this at the moment. So you can see pile and pile here. Let me get up. You can see look how far back this goes. Look at it, look, going all the way down the rack, all the way down, all the way down. This is stacked like a dozen figures high over here, and this is just Star Wars Black Series. I've got DC Multiverse I still have to go through. I have Fortnite I still have to go through. Just finished going through all of these Kingdom figures. Uh, it's a lot, and I've got like Mortal Kombat figures on deck. There's Funko Pops in the very back of the row. And all this stuff has to be done before the end of the day on Sunday, because I'm not going to be here to finish it after that. So, all of this just kind of puts me in the mind of just how crazy this job is sometimes, because like it seems like in the last few weeks, I have not had a moment's breath in this store trying to get everything priced out because someone just keeps coming in and laying out more stuff. You put it online that like, oh, well, we try only to, you have to call ahead. You have to message us first and let us know what you got, and we'll see, because not every week I'm going to have cash on hand to pay out for all of this. So you can try. No one will listen. People will come to the door and they'll say, I'm moving, I can't take it all with me, here, just get rid of it. The kind that just like they just need to get it off their hands, and they don't really care what offer they get. All they care is that they get something out of it, because their alternative is to essentially just throw it away. So I've gotten a lot in like that lately, because remember, I live in Florida. This is a store located in Florida, obviously. And we've got snowbirds who are moving back up to the north for a while. Not all of them are taking everything with them. Not all of them can leave everything behind. So they end up here. Uh, I don't know why people buy collectibles when they don't have space for it all. Sometimes, like they say that your eyes are bigger than your stomach when you order a plate full of food that you cannot possibly eat. That is the same thing that happens to collectors, where they will buy and buy and buy, and as soon as any situation comes up where they have to move it, oh, right, I forgot that part, where this has to be mobile. Now, I can see like when it's within town, yes, but when it's out of state and you're like looking at like flying back up north, that's not so doable. So what do? You come to a place like this, we solve your problem for you. But I have not seen an empty counter in this store literally in the last 3 weeks. Like as soon as I got this thing clear, someone else came in the door with another pile of stuff. I took in Black Series figures from someone who was moving and just had to get rid of it. I just took in Spawn and Mortal Kombat toys from someone who, it was an ex-boyfriend's lot. He didn't want them anymore, said to just get rid of them, didn't care what they got, they just had to get rid of them. They smell like incense, by the way. Weirdly enough, I've become something of a toy detective, where from the condition that they are in, the way that they smell, the color of the dust that's on them, I can tell where they were in the house. I could tell how frequently that room was lived in. I could tell what they were doing in that room. It's weird. the skills that I have honed working this job that apply nowhere else in life or in any kind of practical application, but for whatever reason, I have them now, and it actually does help in this job. If I take in a set of loose toys and they have this brown dust to them and say, you kept these in a man cave, right? You kept these in a room where you smoked. Or, if they have like like if they are like covered in like normal gray dust and it's really thick, I can tell it's a well lived in room, so most likely a bedroom or a living room. If in this, if they have like this like a dirty odor to them, not like cigarette smoke, but just like ew, like greasy kind of smell to them, like you can tell they were kept in a garage, that kind of thing. And in this case, they kind of have the loose spawn toys kind of have this little incense smell to them. Like it's not like it's not like any kind of smoke. It's like man, I don't know how to even describe it. But it's the only time I ever remember smelling anything like it is when someone's burning a stick of incense. Interesting, the kind of things you pick up, and it helps you get a grasp on the people who are bringing things in. So when things like this come in the door, I never know what it's going to be, and it's interesting to me because it gives me a grasp on where toys are value wise. Like the Power of the Primes Optimus here obviously has gained quite a bit of value because it is a very good Optimus toy that hasn't been available in quite a few years now. The Kingdom toys just got clearanced out heavy at Target, like 70% off kind of clearance. Like, please get rid of these clearance. Like, I really wish I had caught that so I could have loaded the store up with Kingdom toys. That kind of clearance. So these are fluctuating heavily right now. If it was something that was still easily findable at Target, say a Black Arachnia, for instance, a Shadow Panther, for instance, right now there's a saturation on the market for it. So this is all over the place. I'm not exactly sure what to price it at. Um, this is the kind of thing, like, I kind of have to sit on it and wait for all that excess stock that got sold off from Target to kind of clear through eBay first, wait for the prices to stabilize, and then we will talk exactly what it should be going out at. And then things like the Fortnite stuff that died a death at retail. I don't really see, like, I thought McFarlane was still doing these because I still remember them coming up from time to time, but I think Hasbro has the master license now, so those are probably done. I know the Jazzwares are done. The Jazzwares died a death at retail. Those, all I can remember is just piles and piles of those. I remember them piled up in clearance aisles, and they're still not getting rid of it. I remember going to liquidator stores like Marshall's and just finding whole racks worth of those. So now I get to deal with them. Yay! It's a fun thing about this place working like a pawn shop. See, what else? What else do we have here? What else do we have? So it's not all like I don't know what to do with it. Boba Fett's and Mandalorians are always great. There's like 4 of them in here. Some of them are funny. There's a Banana Robot Man for those who don't know Fortnite, but hey, Banana Robot Man. And that's just like this stuff. Like the stuff that I haven't even put out. Like the stuff that I put out before I recorded. Put out a gargoyle. I put out a Mighty Duck, like an actual Mighty Ducks action figure, not the movie, the cartoon. I put out what else do we have? I put out a full set of Kiss, the rock band. Put out a set of variant Guitar Hero characters. Random stuff all over the place now, and I love the variety. But it gives me such a interesting insight on exactly what is popular and what's still selling and the market value on these things. A big collection that came in was mostly focused on just female characters. Like when I said like a gargoyle toy, what I meant is Elisa Maza, the human of the show. So I have her out on the shelf. I have a lot of like Storm and Jean Grey from Marvel, and I have like more obscure ones like Magic and who else? Uh, Girl from X-Men 2099. I can't remember her name. The point is, this collector just liked the female characters. He liked the female characters because they were usually one per case, and they were harder to come by, they were rarer. So we always assumed that those would gain in value because they were short packed. That's not always true. Like I keep telling people, it's demand that commands the value, not actually not the rarity. Rarity helps demand, but it is still down to demand. What surprised me is that it is true. Like a lot of those female characters were only one per case. They were harder to get. They are not as valuable as the guys. I have 90s X-Men up there. I have Storms and Jean Greys that only made it to about $16, $17 worth in value that I could ask. I have a Cyclops that's like 45, like the 90s cartoon style Cyclops, 45. The that same cartoon's Wolverine, we had that one, 55, and that sold. Like that's not like a oh, I pulled that price out of my butt. That actually sold for that price because that's what the toy is actually selling for these days. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate because the girl characters are so cool. You can't argue Storm isn't a cool character. But despite how rare and how limited her toys were from the 90s, it's just not it's not fair is what it is. It's not fair that so many cool female characters get overlooked because it's like it was still like a boys thing. Even today it is viewed still as a boys thing. So the boys sell better than the girls, and I hate that that's the case, but that really is the case. When Bandai of America was saying like, well, the girls don't sell, so pink and yellow rangers are only one per case, and fans went, no, that's not fair, that's sexist, da 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 da. I walked into a Toys R Us that literally had like 20 like legacy or like Legends collection Trinis, Yellow Rangers. Like seriously, 20 of them on the shelf. Like it is unfortunate that there is a truth in that because boys are not going to give girl characters a chance no matter how cool they are. Some will, most won't. I hate that the market works that way. That's a matter of marketing and perception over so many years that's kind of indoctrinated that into people, and it's gotta go. Oh my god, it's gotta go. I hate the gendering of stuff that shouldn't be gendered at all. Completely different tangent. I didn't even start this video about to talk about this, but the video just kind of became like the skills you learn from, the knowledge you gain doing this job about how the toy industry is, especially on the secondary market and the collector side. What I wanted to do was show you this. So this is a pretty rare situation, and one that I've gotten to do a couple times since I started this job, but I wanted to actually show it on camera this time. This is a full case of Witchblade figures. Now, Witchblade, for those who don't know, comic book series about this magical armor that usually bonds to female users and just happens to make them very scantily clad. If you want a modern equivalency for my weebs out there, think Kill la Kill. Of course, I could just open this up and show you. The reason why this is special and why I'm opening it on camera is because this is a 24-year-old shipping case that has not ever been unpacked. So what I'm about to do is actually unpack this box so we can put it out on the shelves. And it's kind of special because you think about this. Witchblade's not the most popular series anymore, right? I'm putting these out with the understanding that this is very obscure and likely I'm not going to find anyone who's going to buy it anytime soon. But I think what's cool about this is being able to see how these were shipped in the past. So a lot of these, especially from indie comics, were treated with a little bit of they were treated with a lot more respect and treated more like collectibles. For instance, you can see at the top there, sculpted by Clayburn Moore. Now, I've been talking about we should actually be crediting the artists and sculptors that work on toys more often than we do. This toy line did that. They just straight up did that. And that's how a lot of these like indie comic toy lines were back in the 90s. Like these more independently produced. Like this was produced by see More Action Collectibles Incorporated. So Claiborne Moore, kind of trying to do what Todd McFarlane did, and an artist becoming a toy manufacturer. Top Cow Productions, that's the company that created Witchblade, or owns Witchblade rather. 1998, yeah, 24-year-old case. And you can see, like, you don't see this anymore, where like they're kept in tissue, so you don't scratch up the bubbles. So here, like, this is what's cool about it to me. I am the first one in 24 years. These have not met human eyes since they left the factory in China 24 years ago. That's crazy to me. So it's 4 figures in the assortment. The case has 3 of each. So here we've got Kenneth Irons, who actually is actually a male user of a Witchblade. And we have the main character, the titular Witchblade. As you can see, I wonder if they were marketing the boys in the 90s. Do you think so? Do you think so? I really start to think so. So, more inserts, more tissue, more scantily clad women. It's going to start covering up the camera if I'm not careful here. Trying to get out at least one of each. Yeah, and there's the medieval design, medieval Witchblade. Now, if we can get to the end here. See, yeah. Sujita Susumu was the sculptor on this one. I didn't check to see if they were sculpted by different people. I really should have done that. Yeah, and that's Nottingham. So, admittedly, Witchblade, not the most exciting of things to take out of a box, but it's not about that. It's about the experience. It is about being able to do something that most don't normally get to do. You find a case of figures that has been unbroken for, decades. Normally, you leave it in there. It's very, very few people who are actually given the chance to crack it open, take it out, potentially put it out for sale. Like this I think is cool just because what it is. It's almost 25 years old, and because it's been in the case the entire time. Edges are clean and crisp. This thing looks like it came off the shelf from the 90s, and not even a bit of dust on it. That's unique. That you don't get to experience all the time. And again, if this is about the knowledge you gain working at a shop like this, then certainly that also comes in the form of things that you don't normally get to see or experience. So I feel like that, another part of the job that just makes me love what I do. So once again, this has been a look into the life of a toy store manager, sharing my nature, sharing my knowledge, sharing my experience, and my unique abilities that this job has instilled me with. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoy my little toy store series. I do want to do a few more of these sooner than later. But for now, I will leave it there. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you next time. Guys, I am facing the most powerful enemy any YouTuber can face, the algorithm, and I need your help to defeat him. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and leave a comment. Every time you do, we attack that algorithm and we drive it back until it can no longer defeat this channel. Thank you very much.